Okay, well, thank you so much for joining me this evening. Thanks for being here tonight. We've got people joining us from all over the place, New Zealand. I know there's people joining in from Asia, from Malaysia, from Australia. But wherever you are, you've been invited along to discover ASEA. Now, I know there's some people on the call who really have very little information about this. So tonight, my aim is to really be able to showcase what the product is and what the opportunity is. There may be a number of reasons why you've been invited tonight. That might include that you are concerned about your health. You might be dealing with some kind of a situation or condition that really is affecting your happiness, your lifestyle. You might be somebody who's in perfect health, but you really have a desire to keep it that way, and you're interested in prevention, you're interested in keeping your immune system strong and in staying well. You might also be an athlete, somebody who wants to see just how much more you can give to your body. You might be into sports, you might be in the fitness industry. You might be in the medical industry or in the health industry in some way or another, and you're looking for progressive tools that can help you give your patients and clients better results. And the last category, you might be an entrepreneur, somebody looking for an additional way to make income. You might be looking for a way to make income from home, and you've been invited along because we are growing very quickly, and we are looking to add people to our team to get this breakthrough out to the marketplace. And so with that said, I'm going to cover this information, whichever of those categories you fit into. I really hope that I can have some answers for you tonight to really see whether this is a fit for you or not. Okay, so the company, as I mentioned, is called ASEA, and they have a really significant breakthrough. I'm going to cover what it is firstly, then how it is transforming lives, and my aim is to even give you some examples, and then of course how you can participate. So let's quickly jump into the product itself. It is 10 to 15 years ahead of its time. If somebody asks you what it is a cell signaling supplement. Cell signaling supplement, and this is a whole new category of science. What is inside this bottle and this gel won a double Nobel Prize in 1998 when it was first identified what these little molecules are, but a little more on that later. But I do want to share with you, because it is important to note that this is not a prescription drug. It is completely native to the body. It is a bioreplica of what your body already makes when it's in a healthy state. And so it makes it completely free of toxicity and very powerful. Just quickly, I want to tell you a little bit about how I came across this technology, because you might be wondering, you know, is she a doctor? Is she in the health industry? Well, I did come from the health industry. I studied health science. I studied physiotherapy. But then I started having children and having a family. And I got sidetracked. I was very busy running my own company in another area altogether. I was in marketing and advertising when a dear friend of mine called Dan Doyle, this is him, was diagnosed with a life-threatening condition. And you can see images of him here and where he was. After 2 years of chemotherapy, he was really told that he was dying. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I remember seeing him and thinking, this man is not long for the grave. I mean, that sounds like an awful, really scary thing to say, but I feared for my friend. He had spent 2 years in hospital and he had just gotten nowhere. His body was destroyed. And it was around that time that we got a phone call from the US. Somebody said to us, there's a laboratory. They've had a significant breakthrough. This product is called REDOX signaling molecules. And I rushed back to all my textbooks. I went back and had a look, and I was like, this is kind of new. I've never heard of this before. So I jumped on Google, which I encourage you to do, but know where to search in Google. Google's a terrible place. I mean, you can find all sorts of crazy things in there if you don't know where to look. So if you're looking at scientific progress, medical products, you really should go to something reputable like Google Scholar or PubMed, which is what I did. And when I Googled redox signaling, I was surprised at how much information was actually out there. At the time, there were around 17,000 published studies in the field of redox signaling. And that told me two things. One, well, this really is a field. It isn't just something made up by this company. And two, it gave me the understanding that this was not just a field, this was a hot field of research. There's a lot of research going into this area because people must be looking towards redox signaling as some kind of future therapeutic opportunity. You don't put those many millions of dollars and those thousands and thousands of research hours into something unless you hope or you believe it can be an avenue of the future. And so I felt comfortable that Danny had connected with this laboratory. I understood what these molecules were. I'll share with you in a minute. And it has been one of the most satisfying, most amazing things to watch. I always still get emotional to watch our friend Danny recover and really make a comeback from what was certain death. And we saw this recovery unfold right before our eyes, and it changed the course of my life and the course of many people's lives. Danny began sharing with everybody. Here he is talking to somebody else who, he travels all around the world. So he's talking to somebody else here who may have had the same condition as him or a different condition. But Danny has become a massive ambassador of this technology. And so did many of us as well. Because when you know of something good, the very first thing I wanted to do is tell other people, right? And you know something has changed someone's life, you immediately think of all the other people it could help. And that's how we started. That's how we started sharing ASEA and really getting the message out about this company. So the first question I asked myself, and you may be asking yourself right now, whether you're evaluating this as a product for your own health or as a business or as a health practitioner, let's answer this question. What is a redox signaling molecule? To answer that properly, first, pause for a second. I need to tell you what it is not. Because our mind immediately starts looking, is it a vitamin? Is it a mineral? Is it an antioxidant? Is it an exotic juice? Is it an alkaline water? No, we are none of these categories of products. And I'm not saying these products are bad. We need vitamins, we need good water, we need antioxidants. But these are the materials that your body uses. Materials, much like if you're building a house, you need wood, you need cement, you need electricals. Well, our body needs materials to do its work. A redox signaling molecule is something altogether different. It is the worker that makes all these materials actually usable. So let's look at it this way. You and I are just made of cells. If you look at your hair, if you look at your hands, everything is just a different type of cell. Inside the cell, your cell has instructions on how to operate, on how to do things. Those are called genes. Inside the cell, you can have an array of different structures, biological structures, doing a lot of work constantly, because not all cells are healthy at the same time. Your cells are undergoing so much all the time that they constantly need to be protected from the environment. They need to go and be repaired. And sometimes when they're very dangerous, our body needs to know which cells to kill and then replace with healthy ones. And so this is the work of the body. It's constantly happening. You know it's happening because if your kid falls over and they scratch their knee, you can see the skin healing. You can see the skin healing on your face. You can see the skin healing when you have a burn, for example. Well, all that's also happening on the inside. We already knew it was happening, but we didn't know how. Until 1998, as I mentioned, there was a major breakthrough in medicine. They awarded a Nobel Prize for these three gentlemen who finally said, you know what? It's the redox molecules that are acting as the biological messenger. They are the signal, the spark that triggers all those chemical reactions happening in our body that lead to our cells being healthy. So if you look at everything that your cells are doing, whether they're making energy, they're making proteins, they're expressing genes, they're repairing cell walls, they're talking to each other, everything at the cellular level is just a chemical reaction. It's just chemical reactions. And those chemical reactions need a trigger, and the trigger is always going to be a redox molecule. Now, unfortunately, as we age, those messengers, those triggers become depleted. Your mitochondria, your cells, make less and less of these redox molecules. Again, I'm telling you something you already know, because when you look at a child and they fall off a bike at the age of 8, they repair quite quickly. If you and I fell off a bike at the age of 40, I'm 40 right now, I don't think I'd repair as quickly as a child. And if an 85-year-old falls off a bicycle, well, it could be life-threatening. Their body is just not repairing the same way. So we know this because we understand that it is redox signaling molecules that are at the source of those repair reactions. And if you have less redox, you're going to have less repair. Now, of course, the environment is so toxic that, guess what? We're going through our levels of redox far quicker. And what is that leading to? It's leading to disease. Again, I'm not telling you something you don't know, because the reality is that we all know somebody that's got cancer, that's got cardiovascular disease, that's got some kind of a complication, respiratory. Right now, of course, we've got a big issue with a specific virus. But you know what? The numbers of deaths that we're seeing related to this virus are nothing compared to the people that are dying of heart disease, cancers, and other issues. Even when this virus situation is gone and resolved, we're still left with a massive health crisis. And let's not be silent about it. What has changed in the last 50 years that so many more people are getting sick? It's not our bodies. What's changed is our environment. And so these molecules have been studied to death. They really have. You can see here a sample of these kind of studies that have been done. Whoops. But basically, redox signaling molecules have now been linked and studied in their role against neurodegenerative conditions, inflammatory disease like arthritis, diabetes has been named as a redox disease, cancer has been named as a redox disease. You and I may not be aware because we don't sit there reading research. Your doctor might not even be aware unless they're a really research-oriented practice. But this is the future. According to the research, from this field will emerge so many therapeutic opportunities. The first one is ASEA Redox. And right now, they're the only company in the world that have found a way to make more of these molecules. It's very simple. We now know that these molecules are the key to your cells being healthy. And your cells being healthy are the key to you being healthy overall. We know that we don't make enough of these molecules. Our numbers are always reducing. And as an answer to this crisis, ASEA has been the first company in the world to have given us a way to supplement in these redox levels. I think it's so exciting. I think it's so exciting for my family, for my parents, for the people that I love and care for, because we're no longer just reduced to being victims. We can really address now our problems at the root cause. This is a big deal. My dad, he was previously on around 12 different medications for different things. It was cholesterol, it was pain, it was controlling his sugar, and like him, there are thousands. I mean, the pharmaceutical industry really relies on you and I having symptoms, because that's what most of the medication does. It treats your symptoms. But with something like ASEA Redox, we can get into the root cause of the problem, which is the cell. And now it would be the example, like if one of my kids came to me and said, "Mom, there's a fire in the room, there's a fire in my bedroom." And I said, "Honey, just close the door, it's not important." That would seem like an irresponsible way to deal with the fire, wouldn't it? Well, this is the way we're dealing with a lot of diseases right now. We don't care about the root cause. We're only worried about whether we can see the symptoms or not. If I can stop it hurting, if I can stop it itching, if I can stop it being horrible and just manage it, maybe the problem will go away. But of course the problem doesn't. And then we're surprised when the fire builds and we end up with a problem that's gotten far worse. And that's why this product is taking hold and growing incredibly fast. ASEA Redox, both the drink and the gel, have been registered by the FDA and the NSF. It's not a prescription drug, so we don't even want to be FDA approved. That's only for drugs, right? You have to have a lethal limit in order to qualify for FDA approval. We're registered with them. All we have to show is that we are a nutritional supplement. We're being produced in a safety environment. We have our 5 stars for safety rating. We have been shown to have 0 toxicity in our clinical studies. And for anybody wondering, for anybody who really understands what redox molecules are, if you're wondering, hang on, have they actually been able to put these in a bottle? Then each of these products comes with a certification. You can see it right there on the back of the gel. And in the United States, you'll see it on the drink bottle as well. The bioagilitics certification is independent bioanalysis that confirms to you and I that these products really are made of redox molecules, trillions and trillions of them that you can put into your body to accelerate your body's native function. So as I mentioned, we've been validated scientifically, bunches and bunches of studies. So the product is validated, the redox signaling is validated. We also can do your own test at home. I put flowers in redox all the time, and you can see that water is not as effective as redox. Now, I'm not saying you don't need water, but I'm just showing you here as an example that biological matter, your cells, responds incredibly well to being able to have more redox signaling molecules. What do we know about this product? Okay, let's talk about the science. If there's doctors on this call or there's people that are liking, that like their research, I'd like to point out what we know from the research. We've had a number of exciting clinical trials, and the first one here is from a double-blind, placebo-controlled study that was done by Torit Laboratories. They're a prestigious genetics testing facility, and they were able to show that after 8 weeks, people drinking ASEA at 8 ounces a day were able to see an increase, a switching on of the genes that specifically control improvements in your immune system. Hello, this is a little bit important right now. That regulates the inflammatory response. So much disease is a result of inflammation. Improves cardiovascular health, promotes gut health, and restores hormonal balance. Some of these genes are pathway signaling genes. So not only is it doing all these things, it's also triggering a myriad of other important functions in your body. For example, we know it's helping women with their cycles. We know it's helping people with insulin regulation. There is a cascade of positive genes that are impacted the moment you start drinking ASEA. We know it supports cell communication. Your cells can talk to each other, protects you from free radicals. It has been tested against 30 resistant strains of viruses and bacteria, and in every single case, it has killed them 100% of the time in under 30 seconds. It's been shown to be completely free of toxicity. For those of you that know what an antioxidant is, it's like the tool that repairs your body, protects you against oxidation. From the moment you start drinking ASEA, 72 hours later, your antioxidants level are 500 to 800% higher. That's massive. We know for athletes that it improves endurance, power output, your cardiovascular and lung capacity, recovery. It increases your circulation to an area by 50% in 15 minutes, helps you burn fat fuels, and positive shifts in up to 43 metabolites. And it's completely native. I love the fact that all these things are happening in your body and it's no toxicity. Now, these are from the studies that we have now. Do we want more studies? Yes. Do we need them? Not really. We already know this is a brilliant product, even from just what we know already. Having said that, we have a research facility specifically dedicated to the advancement of redox signaling. We're the leaders in this field, and we're finding out more and more about what this product can do every day. And I'm sure in 10 years, we'll be even more amazed about all the new things we've discovered about it and new ways to use it. As I mentioned, the drink has been put into a gel, and this is a gel that you can use from the outside in, whereas the drink is working from the inside out. I'm not going to read through those numbers. I'd rather show you some images of what cell repair looks like in 28 days. So I'm going to click through quite a few images, but really this is the crux of why I started using this product. I started seeing evidence, and I hope that the way you test this product is by using it, because that's really when you get to appreciate what it's doing. So in 28 days, we know that it is accelerating the level of repair. You can see in this lady here, an incredible level of repair of the cells. And it's wonderful when we're able to see it visibly. But of course, it's also happening on the inside, which is even more exciting. We have a Facebook page where people post their testimonies, and you know, some of them are just so crazy impressive. This lady here, Nina, I mean, this product really has changed her life. She had a condition. Her face looked like this for 5 years, and it's thanks to this product in a very short amount of time that she had such a positive change. I've seen changes with my own eyes in my own family over and over again, and it's super exciting to see a child get rid of a skin condition, to see an adult finally get rid of something they've been living with for years. It is transformational. Now, some things do take longer. For example, you might be treating things like veins. You might be having a condition that you've had for many, many years. I mean, if you've had something for 20 years, let's not hope and expect that it's going to be gone in 2 weeks. We really want people to have fair expectations. This product is repairing, not just blocking things out and putting a blanket over your symptoms. We need to give your body the chance to actually repair and go to work. We like to encourage people to at least use the product for 9 months before they even think about comparing results. But the reality is that people are seeing results much, much faster. If you'd like to read reports on what this product can do, if you want to know what it is that it can do, I'd love for you to go on to our Facebook group, ASEA Healthy Self. Ask the person who's invited you to let you in. You just need to be invited, and go through all the stories. I found this one today. I've actually seen her image before, and you can see all the different spots in her body on her x-ray or her scan on the left. You can see all those black spots. Those were growths. Those are tumors. And you can see her report right now. You know exactly what this condition is. It is life-threatening. And these rapidly dividing cells were able to be stopped by the ability of her own body, not ASEA. ASEA is not a cure. Her own body to finally operate properly. Okay. If you want to read more and more stories, I'm not going to read through all of these, but I can just tell you it is inspiring, and it can give you an idea, either as a user or as an entrepreneur, just how many people we can reach and what this product can do. Thousands, literally thousands of people around the world have tried this before you, so you may as well go and read what they have to say. You know, I don't want to hear from some person who's got theories on whether this is going to work or not. I want to hear from someone who's used it. That's the people that really count, the people who have taken this into their body and it's changed their life. This is our friend Danielle Matthews. She's in Florida. She had had a car accident. She'd been left with brain injury, and she had not progressed. She had been left completely incapacitated, unable to live alone, until she started drinking REDOX signaling molecules. And she's an amazing independent woman with her recovery that has shocked every doctor, really. But we're in the business of surprising people. We're in the business of shocking doctors, and that is what progressive medicine is all about, looking at better ways to do things. And the future of medicine, I do think, belongs to prevention. More and more focus on prevention. So even if you're completely healthy, even if you're an athlete, like some of these Olympians on this page that use ASEA, I would encourage you to look at your long-term health, not to wait to have a problem, not to wait for the fire to have consumed your whole house, but to get in and look after yourself. And one of the basic things you can do is to stop the deficit of redox molecules in your body, which we now know are the cause of all repair that goes on. Would you rather keep your body in a state of repair, or would you rather keep your body in a state of destruction? So, okay, that's just an image of how it helps to reduce inflammation. But let's move right along. Hopefully by now, you've got an idea of how this product can impact lives. If you're just here to find out about whether the product can help you with your health challenge, then you might find that I've covered enough to hopefully give it a shot. In the last few minutes of this presentation, I would just like to cover how we're distributing this product, why it's not coming through the pharmaceutical medical chain, it'll make a lot more sense to you, and perhaps you are somebody that would like to participate. Dry throat, excuse me. Okay, so when this product was finally established, when they had it in a bottle, they had it in the gel, they said, you know what, we need to get this to market. Let's firstly talk to the pharmaceuticals. They will love this. Well, they weren't so much in love with it as they were threatened by it. This is a disruptive technology that helps people come off their medications. So the pharmaceutical, one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the US made a very large offer to our ASEA corporate team, but it wasn't to buy the product, to distribute the product, it was to suppress the product. They wanted the product to basically go under the rug, clinical trials to stop, everything to be shut down, and there was no guarantee that they would ever remarket it and redistribute it. So Vertus Norton, founder of this company, who had been the strategic head of a $36 billion company previously, he knows a lot about marketing. He very quickly decided that they had to go down a different distribution model. This is his son, Tyler, who is also a founder of the company and is now at the head of the company. Vertus has retired. This was 10 years ago. They said, we can't put this on a shelf at Walmart. You're not going to go into Kohl's or Woolies and put REDOX on your shopping list because you don't know what REDOX is. So this has to be a direct sales model. They decided that was absolutely the best way to move forward. It was a strategic decision. And what this allows is for the product to be shared extremely quickly. Because if you have something that works well for you, what are you going to do? You're going to tell other people about it. Specifically, since there is no competitor, we're the first in the world to have this. It is a very easy product to share, to talk about. The company takes care of all the logistics, the shipping, the permits, the marketing, but they wanted to invite the world, anybody in the world who wants to distribute the product, to be able to do so. So it doesn't matter if you're a mum, if you're a health practitioner, like you might be a naturopath or a physio, you might be a businessman, you might be somebody who's just wants to have your own product experience, and if it works for you, then you'll tell other people about it. It really doesn't matter what your agenda is. They have given us the platform to reach out to anybody in 34 markets, all from the comfort of your home, a virtual office, and you really don't even have to touch the product. You don't even have to leave your home. You can build a global distribution business. And the company shares 50% of their profits for those people that wish to do so. So where we're at now, as I said, Vertus founded the company, co-founder is his son, Tyler. Where we're at now is we're positioned as the sole distributor of REDOX in the world. Once again, it's a market breakthrough. It's not just another cool product in the health industry or another interesting thing with a new berry in it. It is a complete new category of science. We are now in 34 countries. We turned over 160 million the previous year in yearly sales turnover. That's US dollars. And we have grown at 56% again in the last 2 years. We're completely in a growth stage. Just in March right now, we had our biggest month ever. And we are set and on track to be a billion-dollar company in the next 3 to 5 years. And yet no one knows about us. So that is where, if you are an entrepreneur, I know your brain's just gone, click, wow, that's an incredible opportunity. And that's what Danny did. Once he started seeing that, he was recovered, he saw that the product, he knew it was good. He said, well, wow, we need to get this to the world. And these guys have provided a model for us to do so. So the compensation plan, for those of you that want to know, and I put in a little bit more detail today because there's a lot of people who are coming at me right now saying, Cristina, I need to earn some income from home. I'm looking at additional income streams. My wife maybe isn't working right now, or our business is suffering because of the situation or global situation right now. People want to know if they can earn an income with ASEA. Yes, you can, and you can do so fairly quickly. If you're interested, somebody can go through and put down a strategy, especially for you. But just to give you an average of what it takes for our associates to earn over 6 figures, that's $21,000 plus per month. The average time is 18 months, okay? So you can have that as a frame of reference. Some people do it slower, some people do it faster, believe it or not. We've had that done in 8 weeks. But really, it's up to you. You develop your own income part-time, doing your own hours from your home. We are not looking for investors. We are fully capitalized, and it is a massive growth industry. If you're not sure about the direct sales industry, I know some people have some preconceptions. I know I certainly did. Well, it might surprise you to know that it is actually the highest paying career in the world. Direct sales, network marketing is the highest paying career in the world, second to professional sports. And it is not slowing down. It is growing. By the year 2025, it will go from 200 billion that it is now, and it will reach 645 billion by current growth estimates. There's around 10.5 million people in the world that call this their full-time income. So you don't need to worry thinking, you know, is this thing like, does it work? I think by those figures, you know it works. But what about the health industry? Is the health industry doing all right? Yes, absolutely. I think I missed a slide there. I may have missed a slide. Perfect timing. Yes, here we go. Let's talk about the health industry. Yes, the health industry is doing just fine, and it's only going to continue growing. Unfortunately, we have caused ourselves a lot of damage. There's a lot of people that are unwell. It is a $4.2 trillion industry, and it is the fastest growing sector of the economy. Paul St. Pilsner, who is an economist, has predicted this is where most entrepreneurial opportunities will come from. Okay, so now we've covered everything. We've covered the product. You hopefully can understand that it is a genuine market breakthrough. We've covered a little bit about the distribution model, why the decision was made to go down that path. Really, it's because we want to get to as many people as possible with this breakthrough. So now it's really, the question might be, well, how do I get involved? So who we are looking for to work with us in our team are people who are visionary. We're not looking for investors. As I mentioned, we have all our capital. We are looking for people who are interested in generating additional income streams, who are willing to get out there and share information about our technology, to open up distribution channels. How you do it is up to you. We have all the training to get you feeling confident, to get you feeling ready. We will work with you side by side. But you might decide to pursue the beauty industry. Someone else might want to talk to lots of gyms. Someone else might have a bunch of friends that are well connected. You might decide to go and do a deal with a chiropractor. It really doesn't matter. It is free enterprise. If you've dreamed about having your own business, this is a fantastic platform. And what you have the opportunity to do is to work within the fastest growing sector of the economy with a product that has no competitor. Can I just repeat that? This is a moment in the marketplace where it's like Steve Jobs coming with his iPhone and saying, Stevie, I would like to introduce you to this whole new concept of having like a computer in a phone. I know it's different. Do you think anybody else will like this? And do you want to get involved with bringing it to market? In terms of the health industry, experts are saying this is such a breakthrough for all the products. I have been in marketing for many, many years. I've been told about so many cool products. I've never been shown something without a competitor. Everything I've ever been shown it before has got a competitor. I don't know about you, but I'm not into selling like hardcore. I don't want to be saying, please buy my protein powder, or please buy my special tasting water, or please buy my special vitamin C, when there's thousands already on the shelf and other options, and people can come up with cheaper options or options with an extra berry in them. I like the idea of having a really simple, groundbreaking product that comes as a drink and a gel, and you can't get it anywhere else. I think that's exciting for any entrepreneur. And you've got 34 markets to play in. And as a summary, these are the reasons I got involved. I thought it was just the perfect storm. Breakthrough science. I could help people. No competitor, no risk, a strong comp plan. We are 10 years in the running and growing. So this is not a backyard experiment. This company is strong. This team is strong. And if you want to join us, go ahead and inquire to have a private session with somebody that can put down a strategy just for you, just to meet your family's goals. Because ultimately, this is the reason I got involved. It was because of my absolute love and devotion to my family, my husband and my 6 boys. This really is the reason, and you've got your own reasons. But what I was doing in my previous life, I had a job in marketing. I didn't really like what I was doing that much. But more importantly, I didn't like where it was taking me, because it was taking me nowhere. I was constantly chasing clients. I never had enough money. We never managed to save enough. We couldn't even dream of holidays. I was just so limited constantly. And I had dreams for my family. I had things I wanted to do. I wanted to pack all these boys and put them in a plane and take them to Hawaii. I wanted to take them to Disneyland. I wanted to help my parents. I wanted to shout people in my family trips. I wanted to upgrade the car, upgrade the house. I mean, I'm a big dreamer. Maybe you are too. And I had to make a choice. I had to accept that what I was doing for a living was never going to give me the life I wanted. And so a choice has to be made. Either I have to let go of the things I want and just stick with what I'm doing and adjust the level of expectation I have for my life, or I have to change what I'm doing or add to what I'm doing if I'm ever going to really have a chance at meeting my dreams and meeting the expectations I have for my life. And for me, it wasn't an option to just shelf all those things I wanted to do with our life. And maybe it's not for you. So if what you're currently doing is not able to give you, when you really dig deep and you think, where do I want to be in a year? Where do I want to be in 5 years? If what you're currently doing isn't going to give you that, you really need to evaluate if you need to do something else. Maybe not a seer. Maybe this is not for you, but maybe it can be. And so what is the next step? The next step is really realizing what are the things that you value and how can a seer be a part of that? Well, firstly, as we started off, it could be health. You might just be here and say, you know what, I want to be a product user. I've got aches and pains. I've got a condition. My child has a situation, whatever it might be, you might be here just for the health benefits. You might be here because you might be thinking, I could do with a little bit of additional income, even if it just helps us pay the bills off faster, pay off the house faster, go on a holiday once a year. Then you can do a little bit of work, a little bit of sharing. We can set you up so that you have a little bit of additional income every week. Or you might be like Danny, who just went absolutely crazy, told a lot of people about this, has connected with people the world over. And you can do that. You know, I did that from the comfort of my own home. I've been able to build a legacy income for my family. You might be after the same thing. You might be after lifestyle. You might decide that you are sick of making do, you know, sick of compromising with average health, with average options for your living. And this might be the line in the sand. This might be a vehicle that allows you to move forward with what you want to do and with what you want to achieve. So thank you so much for joining me this evening. That takes us to the conclusion of my presentation. I would like to encourage you that if you have any questions, whoever has invited you along will be able to answer them. If you have any hesitations like, I don't know how that would work, or I don't know if this would work, I want to just remind you that it's already working. So there's answers to your questions. You know, Danny would say that to me. He goes, don't worry about all the detail. Look at the facts. There's people raving about this product. There's people making great incomes with this comp plan. So it's already working. The only thing I had to give thought to, and it's the thing that you need to give thought to, is can this take you where you want to go? Be it with your health, with your family's goals, can this take you with where you want to go? Most of us are used to making decisions the wrong way around. We're focused on where we are today and we go, I don't know if I have enough contacts. I don't know if I'm that kind of person. I don't know if I'd like to do that. You know what I tell my kids? That's the wrong way to think about it. You need to think about the outcome. You need to go and think about your plan B, your point B, excuse me. You need to think about where you want to be in point B and then work your way back. Can this be a vehicle to your point B? Okay. So that's it for me for this evening. Have a lovely night or a lovely day wherever you are. Thanks, guys. If anyone has a quick question, please put them on the chat. But lots of hellos. Hi, Ray, Helen. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Michelle. Thank you, James. Thanks for participating, guys. Lots of love, and we'll see you at the next big event.